It's important. See that? They're posing for you on the other side that I said. Did their job, they posed, now they leave. That's actually a common theme for this. Actually, I should not mention this on this one. Yeah, I'm looking in the pockets, no problem. No noise happening if I'm in the pocket. I just wanted to show the general thing, because it is kind of a big deal. So I just wanted to get this precaution in case something happens. But everyone here is reaching a lot as well. So I'm presumably coming from there. What else? Sorry. Oh, this is because of you see the effect, and how it is saying, you noticed them before as well. There's another release as of now, and on top of that, you would have the switch the other side. And I don't know how long does it take to start. It's also be coming from the other place. Again, I said it's coming from. It's just an important disclaimer. I said it's coming from the other side, and I said those students were posing for you. I don't know if they're the same criminals actually releasing the thing. We don't know. I don't even know the direction exactly because wind is fucking. Often enough, it comes from the right to the left, changes from one to the other. So what I can tell you is that those students are posing for you because the behavior before, behavior now, the fact that at least one of the vehicles is related to crime, and even the other one as well, which wouldn't memorize. I don't know that by memory. I know the one because death threat is something you would remember, right? Other than that, I don't know if it's the same. Just know it's the same type of vehicle. But the fact that they having some sort of whatever you saw there in front, that means something as of this. That being said, for the fact that it disappeared as the second minute I went there to check if the earpods are charged already so I could listen to things and come back in as much time as you've seen this and everything's spooked. Yeah, that's very weird. Okay. So, no, it was useful too because as you saw in the process later we come back to give a general shot at the stalkers and potentially you could see them, their source as well, but for what it's worth, that for all I care, the only reason I'm even standing instead of doing something are the backups. I already sent the video of the babies to Tanya so she can see it. Oh, by the way, the email, just the account doesn't load. That is relevant, okay? Didn't try to circumvent that too much. I just had certain battles that I kind of lose. It's more efficient to lose, and if they're drugging me here, I don't tackle on anything too major. Explanations are still doing because they don't really count. First off, I'm not going to do it from here. I can go around in case there is actually something that I'm more or less inclined to if I wanted to. Because the issue is that me talking is evidence in its own right. If I'm talking, you get to see what I'm saying, but more importantly, how I'm saying it, the way that I'm behaving. Baby's hurting me a lot these days, seeing him duck there. I'm gonna deal with it. And that in mind. Also, just realized something. I just mentioned something important here. He said he's going to keep checking on the cameras. And if I left trash on the ground, you did the threat, right? They call security. Keep that in mind. Because we potentially have assaults happening in the middle of the night. And that's a very interesting precedent. It's an intentional extension on the first time he did it, but today, then he said that. Just think for 1 second. First of all, I mean, that would be laughably unwise, given this very thing that I'm just pointing out. But there are individuals assaulting, coming here to assault me in the middle of the night. And it's just an interesting thing to say, to stay on the file. As a simple possibility, if you see something on camera, you can have that done. Because we know that that's the case, but it's just an interesting thing to have on the file. I'm quite sure you're going to appreciate that, too. Just something that occurred to me now. It was said to me earlier. Again, I don't really care. This is, again, as far as I'm concerned, this started yesterday. Not even like days before. I realized it was yesterday. Because the day before I arrived at night, I was so sedated I couldn't think straight. And I just left it there. Okay? Now, this might be a big deal for a variety of reasons, but this is presumably for daytimes. I mean, at night doesn't really matter. 9 to 9, right? Nobody comes here at night. Besides, as I said, as for laughably unwise decisions, because the assault's already proven and it's already known fact. As a matter of fact, it's a known fact. As I said, high schoolers know this as a trivia. So, and I noticed I was not even thinking about it, but now I'm starting to think a lot of good things that can come out of creating this barrier around me. So if criminals get close by, they get markings directly. And we can catch those in the morning. That's actually a pretty good idea. Again, I was not even thinking about that. That was very wise. Sure, we should figure it out. Probably not very wise, picking it up, meaning. Anyway. So that, and as I said, again, this is a case where you have people literally going there to assault me and said they cut my pants, without bizarre things. And the certain things are important to the file. As I have. But for what it's worth, just pay attention. So, meanwhile, in the criminal mind, you have them posing there for you for whatever the fuck you think that means. And again, I don't have a clue. I wouldn't even bother to think. I think it's something so stupid that in their own world that they have those things that matter and they think that they have any real legitimacy elsewhere. That's why we created the term masturbators, and it's supposed to be the lowest of the low. Because they keep saying that to each other, they're doing small things to each other that have any value at all. It's just entertainment for them. That would be the most harmless entertainment you can get, and I don't see how that would lead up to something. But usually they have those things that's supposed to mean something and build something. You know, how they would throw things in the air. Same thing as for, you know how I mentioned before, throwing piss drugs on me, and they kept throwing later small amounts. So it's building up. I could still notice it's artificial and testify to you that that's artificial. Just as the other times when you have a spike. Of course, the spike is easier to transmit ideas, and in this case, you have two things. You also have them reacting to me saying this. I said a couple of days ago, precisely that. What is even the point? Like, they have such confidence that I never lie, that they would make sure to release those things in small amounts, so I can testify to you that they are in small amounts. Because if I don't say anything, then what difference does it make? I still know it's artificial. And one step further, I still know it's sponsored by some type of narcotic in front of me. But when that another time comes, it might be a byproduct that they don't see no social. If it's always a byproduct of something, if they want to do something else that happens to cause this symptom, or if this is always intended. I know that sometimes it's intended, and they use that sometimes deliberately, but I don't know if all times it's deliberate. I don't think it works so hard as well. They threw shit drugs on her the other day. As I said, there's a video, it's pretty disgusting, it's pretty horrifying, literally, in front of everyone, and as always with all the other criminals watching. So, there's that. But as far as this thing goes, I mean, self-explanatory. I didn't have, I'm the only one to feel it. Or am I? And this is my point, where now, after this, two things change. One, I'm confident that I'm not the only one to feel it. They feel it too. But they might say that it is just me, in which case, what a level of trust that they have that I never ever lie to be able to tweak what they used to do to be in such a way as to be releasing such a small, tiny quantity that actually mirror the fact of this being normal. Because I can testify to you that it is not, but I can say that it is truly amazing that they would actually expect that I would be so genuine, essentially just never lie to the point when I bother to describe it to you that they are releasing this just in a different fashion as to this, unless they genuinely have the expectation that they are going to fool me at this day and age. So, yeah, that's what I just wanted to show. So, you have another back and forth for that. By the way, just take a moment to appreciate it also. They're the real victims, don't forget. So, yeah, it's just some random individual just going back and forth, and it's exact in the perimeter over there, tapping on the phone occasionally. Don't like this cat. I mean, my baby. This is sick. I know, Chef, we're dealing with it. So, as of today, apart from the harm to the animals you just witnessed, and the little circus you're seeing right now and a second ago, you also have by the way, that's a response to you. Remember that I mentioned the other guy doing that today? That's it. That's essentially what they do. That's essentially reaction to, like, same as you've seen them all being done here. And if it looks like astoundingly pathetic, it is astoundingly pathetic. That's pretty good. Either way, it's evidence, so. It's okay, baby. It's okay. But don't get me wrong, if, much like all the other things, this one is also one of the ones who increase chances that they think they can get something else. They'll try to accuse me for what they're doing over there. So, all over here in the back, on the tree. One thing's for sure, that criminal you're seeing is not the one releasing the drugs. Another thing's for sure, that is definitely involved in this crime. Just like I've seen them all, just in a much more, well, not worth my time fashion. I mean, saying it's just gonna be that, right? So there's no point keep showing you. Later on, after a few hours of this going, I can testify for the rest. But as of the other point, and again, if you're saying, well, you could be a good person, no, there is no such thing. As of that, if you want to feel it, you sit down your ass in front of the wind keeps blowing up, you don't keep going in and out, so you can normalize whatever you're feeling, and later say something else. Okay? Several times when you have this, as I said to you before, that's why I have absolutely very little expectations. And again, masturbate is in one way or another. Again, that's why we choose masturbate and such. I found out just about the most deplorable nickname that I could think of. Not deplorable, but the most, like the leftover in a language that an Argentinian would understand. The leftover human deject in the toilet there. It just stays there and you can flush and it never goes away. And sorry for the disgusting language. As I said, a language only an Argentinian truly grasp and potentially get aroused about. The yeah, that is about what I meant to when I said the low as far for the masturbated thing. Okay, and because after all, as I said, even worse than the other ones, this is just a guy leaning the hand to the war criminals. Not nice, soft, and So, for what it's worth. Oh yeah, by the way, that too is intended to be used by criminals, and as of this, you should be advised if you see comment there. When I'm saying silly things, too much drugs in the air. Not a spike of drugs. Listen here. There's more in here than that. I'm gonna change places. I'm here mostly because it's the power bank. I'm gonna check on that. Not the power bank, the audio, the earbuds, and the other phone. It should charge it, right? I'm gonna check that. I'm not sure if it's making sense. Still charging. Not sure at all. And the final thing is about the bus price, the $10 extra. But that's not just the point. The other thing is even as possibilities had a role in it. At this point, you're going to stipulate a strict policy of non-appeasement by any chance. So, at least as far as the bus company goes, then we expand that to the other ones. They can do it, they cannot do it, and if they don't do the crime, they're not going to be accused, obviously. If they do it, it's going to be not an accusation, it's going to be done very formal, and try to keep it as litigious as possible as well. And we're never, again, going to not go to take a bus on account of the possibility of their crimes, period. And we always follow that, and to be fair, consciously, I try not to differ in exorbitant amount of drugs, even compared to normal days in here. Mostly psychological drugs. You need to know that usually that's how it goes. If they can throw psychological drugs, they throw psychological drugs. If instead they're throwing other ones, they throw less of those psychological drugs. They usually some of them, but sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. And depends. So, oh sorry, I got distracted there into the facts for me. What I meant to say by that was often enough, instead of throwing more of the drugs, they just throw for the weird ones, like shit and would have to destroying the more of the normal psychological drugs in greater quantities. I'm trying to change positions because over there, as I said, there's a overwhelming amount of drugs going that way. So I'm just trying to stay away. I want to pick up my thing. Oh, dang. Another probably gonna see out the phone. I don't know.